All right, so today we're going to try something a little different. We're going to do a coach's corner, and we're going to have Coach Chad Gunnelson, who's just returning from the national championship in North Carolina?
Greensboro, North Carolina.
All right, what was the best part of that?
Best part about the trip is just the time we get to spend with each other. So we drove, we took 2 vans, we get a chance to spend a lot of time in the van, in the hotel, but ultimately just a lot of good, focused team time without any other distractions other than just having fun together and competing. And so it was a good trip.
Good. And we had a couple All-Americans?
We did. Our women's team had 3 All-Americans, one in the 100, one in the 400, and one in the shot put. So it was certainly a successful weekend.
How many of those will be returning?
Technically, all of them could return. One might be graduating early, but out of every single athlete, we had 14 athletes travel to nationals. Technically, only 2 will be gone. So
excellent.
It'll be fun.
All right, well, this is the softball channel.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk a little bit about softball, about University of Dubuque, and everything that we think is great about this place. So my first question for you is, how long have you been at University of Dubuque, and what are you most proud of?
So I just finished my 10th season here at UD, and realistically, there are many things to be proud of when you work with young people, but in my 10th year, I would say how our young athletes navigated COVID and how much they were able to grow and improve and perform and just compete really well this season, with our freshmen missing their high school senior year, with all of our returners missing last year's outdoor season and having the indoor national meet canceled while we were there. Seeing them continue to grow and overcome all the challenges, the gaps in motivation, and just still put down really good performances and have really good relationships and just build on a year that's one of the most successful we've ever had with all of those challenges is probably honestly this year. This year and what our student athletes were able to do with what they had to navigate is what I'm most proud of.
It was definitely a challenging year, and it was definitely something.
Oh yeah.
But I think we've grown a lot from it. So, what's the best thing, in your opinion, about University of Dubuque?
Oh my! I get this question a lot, and this answer has grown over time because there's more than one thing. But what I love the most about UD is that if you work here or if you go to school here, your experience is going to represent the world. It's not going to be a small place in a small town. It's not going to be time spent with a bunch of people who look like you and think like you. You're going to have an experience that represents what the world is like outside of our campus and what the world will look like once you graduate. And so that's what I love about UD is our sense of diversity, our just the vast majority of opportunities that we have for our student athletes, the city of Dubuque. I think the experience here represents a greater perspective of the world as opposed to just kind of this very narrow focused 4 years that almost will create this kind of slap in the face of, holy smokes, what have I been doing? So I think people who are here are prepared for the real world, and that's what I love about being here.
Yeah, and we talk a lot about softball being a microcosm of life in general, and adding to it the things that I believe University of Dubuque has, like the diversity and all of the different challenges that the players go through, is definitely something that prepares them. So
absolutely.
Well, our conference is very competitive nationally in both softball and track. So talk about how that can help a student athlete when they're here competing.
I think true athletes, true competitors want to be at their best when everyone else is at their best. Mm-hmm. And if they want to truly pursue excellence or pursue greatness, they know that can only be done when you're surrounded by other true competitors. And so if you compete in the American Rivers Conference in softball or in track and field, you know that you're competing with national powerhouse teams. You're competing with perennial powerhouse successful programs that day in, day out is going to require you to work your hardest and be at your best to even just find a way to get a run or to find a way to win a race. And I think that makes our student athletes better in the long run because of the level of competition that they see day in, day out. And that's one thing I love about our conference, and one thing I love about being here is we don't have to travel far to compete against the best.
Right.
And a lot of times they come here to compete against us because in many ways we are the best, and So I think that only builds better athletes. It builds better people because you are constantly being challenged day in, day out.
Good. I agree. Trying to keep this short now, right? So, with coaches, we're a little long-winded, but what's one word you would use to describe either your philosophy as a coach or University of Dubuque's coaches in general philosophy?
My philosophy would be, one word would be faith. And that has a lot of different meanings behind it. But realistically, what I mean by that is my faith in my student athletes.
Good.
Like trusting and believing in them.
That's excellent. And I think that we've got a few words that we use, and trust is definitely one of them. I think that's extremely important. So how would you, as an outsider, describe the UD softball program to someone coming in?
I definitely can't do this with one word. So one of my favorite parts of my day, especially in the spring, even when we're in season, is to be able to go look over the fence and watch the UD softball team practice. And I don't know if this is Coach Lamb approved, but they're wild because they have fun and they get after it, and you can tell like how interested and willing they are to do what it takes to get better. When you go to the turf center, they are like, women are there all day long trying to get better with the bat, trying to get better in pitching, trying to get better in fielding. And so like invested, I would say. Like, so wild meaning like they love to have fun and like they love to celebrate success and enjoy time with each other. And I see that when I walk through the lunchroom or walk around campus, and when I'm at games and watch practices. And then investment, seeing how much time your women like put into being the best softball player they can be. That is inspiring to me, because if I walk in the turf center, like there's never a day that goes by where there isn't a UD softball player in there really trying to like commit whatever she can to getting better at her craft. And then like, just like, I don't like to use like the word fight, but just like feisty, like fight, fierce, competitive. Like that would be the other thing I would say is like winning matters. And you can tell it matters to our softball players and our softball team because like they put their passion and their heart and soul into winning games. And like it's fun to see that, experience that, and grow my own inspiration and motivation from that. And so those are really, I guess, yeah, those are probably the really big things, like the big rocks that I would say that I observe and get a chance to experience, as an outsider to the UD softball program.
I don't think any of our players would mind you telling that one of those words is fight. I think that's something that we pride ourselves on, is going through that and challenging each other, but also having each other's backs. And I think that's something that, for me at least, the coaching staff here has done a fairly good job of doing that as well, having you at some of those games and stuff. So that's nice to hear. What's one thing that you would want a UD softball prospect to know before they committed to our program?
I would want them to know that they are going to have coaches and teammates who literally will invest every single ounce of their heart and soul in them. Because that's what I get to watch every day. When I watch, our softball players walk by my office to come and meet with you in your office. When I see the interactions and conversations during, indies or one-on-ones throughout the day. When I see just like the camaraderie and connection that happens around campus, I think a young lady can come in and know they're going to experience a lot of challenges in college life, but they are going to have someone who's going to tell them what they need to hear, and they're going to push them to be the woman that they want to be and allow them to be even better when they're done here. And so I think that's important, because I don't think every program is like that. I don't think every coach is like that. And I think for someone coming to play softball here at the University of Dubuque, they're going to have a head coach and a coaching staff and teammates who are going to push them to be better. And the best athletes, the best competitors, and the best people truly want that in their lives. And so I think they can get that here.
Excellent. Well, we think we have a lot of great things to offer on campus, everywhere else, but one of the best things we think we have are the people here. And hopefully this will give you a little bit of an idea of what you'll get when you get here. So check out our campus visits, come on campus, see what we have. and just see if this is a good fit for you. We think it's a good fit for us. So this is one of those great people that can help you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Dingers only.